The rain hammered against the tall glass windows of the mansion, each drop echoing the chaos inside Adrian Cole's heart. Known across the country as a ruthless billionaire who built his empire from nothing, Adrian had never been afraid of losing money, until now. Because this time, it wasn't money on the line. It was his twin daughters. Little Emily and Sophie, just 5 years old, lay in separate hospital beds in the most expensive private facility money could buy. Machines beeped steadily around them, their tiny bodies still and pale, as if the life had been quietly stolen from them overnight. Doctors whispered in corners, specialists flew in from different countries, and Adrian spent $12 million in just a few weeks chasing hope that seemed to slip further away each day. No diagnosis. No cure. Just silence. And fear. "I don't care what it costs," Adrian had told them, his voice breaking in a way no one had ever heard before. Just save them. But money, for the first time in his life, wasn't enough. Desperate and exhausted, Adrian brought the girls back home after doctors admitted they were running out of options. That's when Clara entered their lives, a quiet, observant nanny recommended by someone Adrian trusted. She didn't come with flashy credentials or bold promises. Just calm eyes and a gentle voice that seemed to soothe the tension in the air. At first, Adrian barely noticed her. He was too consumed by fear, guilt, and the crushing thought that he might lose both his daughters at once. But Clara noticed everything. She noticed how the girls seemed slightly better at home than in the hospital. She noticed the timing of their sudden episodes. And most importantly, she noticed something no one else had paid attention to, the medicine. Every night, a private nurse named Karen administered a special liquid treatment prescribed by one of the top specialists. It was supposed to stabilize the girls. But Clara found it strange that every time the medicine was given, the girls' condition worsened within hours. At first, she questioned herself. Who was she to doubt world-class doctors? But something deep inside her refused to stay silent. One night, as the storm outside raged once again, Clara made a decision that would change everything. She carefully watched from the hallway as Karen entered the room with the medication. Clara's heart pounded as she noticed Karen hesitating for just a moment before administering it. That hesitation, it wasn't professional. It was fear. And that was enough. The next night, Clara acted. Before Karen arrived, Clara quietly switched the medicine with a harmless solution she had prepared. Her hands trembled, knowing the risk she was taking. If she was wrong, she could lose her job, or worse. But if she was right. That night, for the first time in weeks, Emily and Sophie slept peacefully. No alarms. No sudden drops. No panic. Clara didn't sleep at all. She sat beside their beds, watching every breath, every movement. Morning came, and the girls were better. Not cured, not fully awake, but better. Stable. Alive in a way they hadn't been before. That was the moment Clara knew. Something wasn't just wrong. It was deliberate. The next day, she confronted Adrian. At first, he exploded in anger. "Do you realize what you're accusing?" he shouted, his voice echoing through the marble halls. "These are the best doctors in the world." But Clara didn't back down. "Then why did they get better when I stopped the treatment?" she asked quietly. Silence. Adrian froze. For a man who had faced billion-dollar risks without blinking, this was something else entirely. Fear crept into his chest, not the fear of losing money, but the fear that he had trusted the wrong people with the lives of his daughters. Without wasting another second, Adrian ordered a full investigation. What they uncovered shattered everything. The medication being administered to the twins wasn't just ineffective, it was harmful. Slowly, carefully, it had been designed to weaken their immune systems over time. But the real horror came when they traced its origin. The prescription didn't come from the specialist Adrian believed he had hired. It had been forged. And the person behind it? Karen. But she wasn't acting alone. Digging deeper, investigators uncovered a chilling motive. Adrian's former business partner, a man he had crushed years ago in a ruthless takeover, had been planning revenge. Not by attacking Adrian directly, but by targeting what he loved most. His daughters. Karen had been planted months earlier, waiting patiently for the perfect moment to execute the plan. Adrian collapsed into a chair when he heard the truth. $12 million, spent not on saving his daughters, but unknowingly funding the very system that was killing them. And he had almost lost them because of it. Karen was arrested. The mastermind behind the plot was exposed. And the treatment was immediately stopped. Days passed. Then something miraculous happened. Emily opened her eyes. A faint whisper escaped her lips. "Daddy." Adrian broke down, holding her tiny hand, tears falling freely for the first time in years. Hours later, Sophie followed. The mansion that once felt like a prison of fear was suddenly filled with laughter again. But Adrian knew one thing for certain. It wasn't money that saved his daughters. It was Clara. Standing quietly in the corner, as she always did, Clara smiled softly as the girls laughed and played again. She hadn't asked for recognition. She hadn't demanded anything. But Adrian walked up to her, his voice steady this time. "You didn't just save their lives," he said. "You saved mine." From that day on, Clara wasn't just a nanny. She became family. And Adrian. He changed. The man who once believed money could solve anything now understood the value of trust, attention, and the courage to question even the most powerful systems. Because sometimes, the truth isn't hidden in complexity. It's hidden in what everyone else chooses to ignore. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that real heroes don't wear capes, they simply choose to act when others stay silent, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and be part of more powerful stories like this.